I guess it's a man or a woman's pride.
It's the worst thing that's ever happened to me, probably.
It's sometimes hard to take whenever they're attacking your personal body.
And I could look at my older brothers and see where I was going to be in a few years.
Tonight, Discover travels to Helsinki, Finland, London, England, Seattle, and Los Angeles to investigate the emotionally charged concern of millions of men, and believe it or not, women too. Hair loss. Hello, I'm Robert Vaughn, and this is Discover. We'll examine the cosmetic and emotional problems of balding and investigate a new product that claims to actually stop hair loss and even rejuvenate hair growth.
This is Discover. Your host from Los Angeles, Robert Vaughn.
All of us experience some degree of hair loss, but is balding a fact of life? Or can we actually regrow our hair? During this program, we'll investigate a product that claims balding can be a thing of the past, fact or fantasy. Balding takes its emotional toll on many people. People willing to try anything to keep their hair, and therefore it seems reasonable to assume their youth.
If I had my druthers, I'd rather have hair. I feel that balding is for perhaps some people, but not for me.
To me, it'd make you look older than you usually are.
I'm not really thrilled with the prospect of my hair falling out.
Oh, how do I feel about balding? Boy.
I feel that balding is for somebody else. I've been this way for 40 years and I haven't liked it at all.
Taking advantage of these desperate people for decades have been the sellers of bogus snake oil products, products that couldn't possibly make good their claims. But will science or medicine ever discover a treatment for hair loss? A current product on the market that boasts of its powers to stimulate hair growth and prevent hair loss is called the Helsinki formula. It's causing quite a stir and has gotten some interesting press coverage, including Total Health, the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, Dermatology News, and this article in the London Financial Times, which is comparable to our Wall Street Journal. But before we hear what Europe is saying about the Helsinki formula, let's hear what some of you who are already using the product have to say.
Since I started using the Helsinki formula, I had a growth of hair come in here.
I have a lot more hair now than I did 4 months ago when I started using the product.
I can look in the mirror and say, hey, I've got enough to comb.
I am growing new hair, a lot of new hair, and that's exciting. I love it.
Now, from the University of Helsinki Hospital in Finland is Dr. Ilona Schreck-Parola, professor of medicine and surgery. Dr. Parola conducted the original research project that isolated and identified the main cause of hair loss. Dr. Parola, it's hard to believe that we can reverse a pattern of balding. How long did you test the product?
We had several studies, and altogether it took about 6 years. It was about 80% success. That means that we could show that in those persons where new regrowth of hair noticed.
Well, is the formula safe in terms of side effects?
It's very safe. It has been tested in France, in Paris, and in Japan.
Well, how long does it usually take for someone who uses the product to show results?
It varies. In some people, we could see new hairs coming in 3 weeks, but in some people it took 3 to 6 months to get new hair.
So excess cholesterol is one thing you discovered that clogs the pores of the scalp and prevents hair growth?
Yes.
Well, if someone has been bald or thinning for many years, can the formulas still be effective?
We have seen success in some totally bald.
Is this an effective treatment, then, for anyone experiencing hair loss?
Yes, if the person still have some hair follicles in their skin. If the skin is totally atrophied or destroyed in another way, then there is no success.
In other words, if the skin has been burned, for example, this product can't help. But if the hair follicles are healthy, then the Helsinki formula should work.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us, Doctor. Standing by is the gentleman who brought the Helsinki formula to the United States and manufactures the product at his Los Angeles plant, Mr. Hal Z. Lederman. Hal, how did you learn about the Helsinki formula?
I have a vitamin and cosmetic company here in Los Angeles, and I heard about the tests that the doctors were doing at the University of Helsinki with the formula for hair loss. And I flew Dr. Parola here from Finland to meet with her, confer with her, and see if it was real. And she convinced me that, in fact, she had developed something that was a very valid treatment for hair loss. And so I began to produce it here in the United States for distribution here and in England as well.
Well, we've seen a lot of products on the marketplace that claim to grow hair, and you have quite an operation there. So tell us, what makes the Helsinki formula different?
The Helsinki formula comes out of a medical background and was developed by medical doctors in a medical setting. It took some 350 volunteers in Finland and many more hundreds of volunteers in France and in Tokyo. All the results were positive and concluded that the Helsinki formula was indeed a valid treatment for hair loss.
Well, how do your viewers actually use the product?
It's really a very simple procedure. This is the scalp cleanser conditioner, very concentrated, used very sparingly. This is our special shampoo. We've had to import our shampoo base from West Germany, and that's because, according to the doctors, most commercial shampoos have ingredients that are counterproductive to the treatment. They're injurious to even healthy hair. So we have a very special shampoo. It takes about 5 minutes a day, very simple to use, and comes with full instructions.
Well, you have a full head of hair. I guess you don't need the Helsinki formula.
Believe it or not, I use the formula, and it's helped my hair tremendously. I lose very little hair. My hair is much fuller than it's ever been, and just feels a lot healthier.
How much does it cost, and where can the consumer buy it?
It's only $39.95, and that's for the full treatment. And it should last up to 3 months. Now, that comes out to only 44 cents a day, so that's very reasonable for any hair treatment. It's available only through us by calling our toll-free line or by writing to us.
Now, what if the customer actually uses the product and for some reason it doesn't work?
Since it doesn't work for everyone, we have a refund policy, and that means that if for any reason you're dissatisfied with the product or if it doesn't work, we'll refund the entire purchase price, no questions asked.
All right, if time allows, Hal, I'd like to come back to you for a look at those case study results. We'll periodically show Pantron 1's toll-free 800 number, so you'll have plenty of time to copy it. Our producer asks that you please call that number and not flood the station with calls on where to purchase the product. Write down this toll-free number, and later, we'll show you an address where you can write to Pantron 1 Corporation in Los Angeles.
Loss of hair reduced within 2 to 3 weeks from start of treatment. New growth was normally visible within the first 90 days.
This is a photograph of myself about 5 years ago. And you can see the hairline was almost straight across, just about even with the ears. The hair had gone straight back from the forehead. The peak right down the front wasn't even there. It was almost a straight line, almost across the middle of my head. And I said that was 5 years ago. Today, you can see a dramatic difference. A lot of hair all over the front of my head. Yeah, this is only in 4 months, not over a 5-year period, but in 4 months. All of this hair in this area is new.
Now, let's go to England, where Discover reporter Ava Regal is talking to some Londoners who've sampled the Helsinki formula.
A treatment that reduces hair loss and generates hair regrowth That's what doctors at the University of Helsinki Hospital are saying. I'm here to see what Londoners who've used the product have to say.
This is something wonderful because my hair had been thinning for such a long time.
Well, I read about the Helsinki formula, but didn't believe it. My hair had been bald for quite a long time. I thought that was it.
It's the first time I've come across a product that actually works.
It's made my own hair very much stronger, healthier, springier, livelier. It's not been like that for about 5 years.
I have twice as much hair as I had before.
10 weeks ago, I noticed some growth on the front, and in fact I was amazed to see where my hairline had used to be. And in fact my wife has said that in the back, on the crown of my hair, Helsinki has stimulated some growth there.
Not only to have more life and bounce, but I found that fine hairs were growing on the portion where it was receding, and the receding itself has stopped.
It keeps the scalp very much healthier too. And if you've got a little hair of your own, it makes it look so much more and so much healthier. And then in the meantime, if it begins to grow hair a little, I think it's wonderful. I would recommend them to use the Helsinki formula.
Anyone that is growing bald, this is the thing to use.
We thought the best person to ask about the Helsinki formula was somebody who works with hair all day long. So we went to visit Tony Tenkoni at his salon, the Head Gardener in fashionable Knightsbridge. So Tony, how long have you been a hairdresser?
I've been a hairdresser since the early 60s, and I've had my own business for the last 3 years.
Have you ever seen a product that works like the Helsinki formula before?
Here we use, I think, 30 different shampoos and 25 different conditioners, which we custom blend to individual needs. But none of them work in the way that the Helsinki formula does, and we have film stars and pop stars and actresses who come here, and this Helsinki formula is an extension of my services to them now.
And I understand you've been using the product yourself.
Yes, I have. It's remarkable because I found, I think, after a month, 5 weeks, the hairs that were coming out either in the brush or I'd find them in the bath, which is a little worrying for me, have almost stopped. And after 2 months, I could feel stubble growing on my hairline here, which nobody could see. I could just feel something that wasn't there before. And this, remarkably enough, has gone on and grown into little golden hairs.
So are you now recommending that your clients use the Helsinki formula?
Most certainly, myself and my staff, we're very confident in the Helsinki formula. And Edward here has started a course 3 months ago.
So Edward, how do you feel about the results you've been having with the Helsinki formula?
Very happy indeed. One is always sceptic when somebody tells you that your hair is going to grow. But mine has actually started to grow. The hair loss, which Tony tells me is a natural part of ordinary hair makeup, because of the Helsinki formula, has stopped. I'm very ecstatic indeed.
In your opinion then, is this the hair loss breakthrough we've all been waiting for?
Yes, it certainly looks that way.
This is Ava Regal, signing off from London.
Thank you for that report, Ava. As a matter of fact, we decided Ava's idea about consulting professional hairdressers was a good one. So we sent Discover cameras to Seattle, Washington, to talk to Leona from the Hairwork Salon. We asked Leona how she became aware of the product, and is she finding results?
I first heard about it on television, and I was then introduced to it through Jason here, who used it, and I saw remarkable hair growth on him in just a few short months. And so I called up to inquire about it myself, and I have people who are using it now, and they're showing really dramatic results in just a few weeks. When Jason first came into me 2 years ago, this whole area was visible, and you could see his scalp. And now, in about 4 or 5 months of using the formula that came out of Helsinki, he has developed hair in this area, and it's almost totally covered again. He had an area in through here that you could totally see his scalp. And he's still got new ones coming in all over. It's very evident his hair has changed texture. It's become a lot fuller and a lot thicker, and it's much more workable, and I noticed that it doesn't tend to curl up on him as much as it used to. He has some wave in his hair.
I certainly have to say I was skeptical. There's been a variety of these snake oil remedies around for centuries, and as a matter of fact, I wasn't even interested at first. It was my wife who actually went out and bought it for me, and then once we had it in the house, she suggested that I might as well use it, and so I did. I'm a lawyer. It certainly is a factor. You want to be confident when you're appearing in court, and I stopped using it for a while to see if it really would make any difference, and there was hair in the drain right away. It was pretty obvious. As soon as I stopped using it, the drain was full of hair the next day. As soon as I went back to using the Helsinki formula, the hair was gone.
Mike has been using the product for 3 weeks now, and the first week I saw him, he noticed that his hair had stopped falling out in the drain when he washes it. And the second week I noticed the start of about 1/8 of an inch of hair in places on his head that were totally bald before. And now he's got about 1/4 of an inch of hair, and this is the start of his 3rd week. And in the front, Mike didn't have enough hair. He didn't have enough strands of hair coming over to even cover up here. He was bald in here with a couple little pieces in the front. And the hair that's coming up underneath now, the new hair is filling in that area. And it makes it look a lot fuller.
We taped that interview about 2 months ago, so we could go back today and see for ourselves the kind of results Leona is having with Mike. Leona?
Well, as you can see, Mr. Vaughn, the front part of Mike's hair is filling in quite nicely. And in the back, it's also filling in considerably more than it was before, and this is only after 2 months.
Let's look at the difference now. On the left, we can see Mike's hair after a few weeks with the formula. And on the right, after 2 months of use, the bald spot looks almost covered. Mike, have you been using anything else on your hair besides the Helsinki formula?
No, I haven't. I've been using the shampoo and conditioner. And in fact, I keep a spare in my truck all the time because I go to the local health club, and I always like to keep an extra set with me.
What kind of reaction are you getting from family and friends?
Well, I think it's just great. They just can't believe it. They can't believe, especially in the back of my hair, where it was just quite a bald spot. It's almost totally filled in. And the front's just a little bit slower, but it definitely is filling in.
And you couldn't believe it either, could you?
No, I was a real skeptic. I didn't believe it was going to work at all.
But you're happy with the Helsinki formula now?
Oh, definitely. I'm a real believer now.
Mike, do you have any other comments about the product?
A friend of mine that works at Boeing, a lady friend of mine, that she's so excited about it that she recommended to quite a few of her friends down there, and several of them are using it right now, and they're getting real good results. They're real happy with it.
Thank you, Mike. And thank you, Leona, for being with us.
The results seem so unbelievable, we have been asked to go back to Hal Letterman to explain how the formula works.
The way it works is really very simple. It cleanses the tissues around the follicle, and often when that happens, the follicle's allowed to regenerate. It's just unplugged, and it comes back to life. It's not a drug, very simple to use.
The Helsinki formula, the complete, safe, and effective treatment, comes with the exclusive conditioner, scalp cleanser, and the specially formulated shampoo. A 3-month supply for only $39.95 plus $3 shipping and handling. To order, just call this toll-free number or send a check or money order for $39.95 plus $3 shipping and handling to Pantron 1. P.O. Box 48806, Los Angeles, California, 90048. The Helsinki formula comes with an absolute money-back guarantee. Even cases of scalp dandruff and itching are often relieved through use of the formula.
I used to wear a cap almost all the time. Usually had, the baseball type cap or a Western hat or a British motoring cap like this or something almost all the time on my head. I was very sensitive about the fact that I was a young man and was going very obviously bald. I recently purchased this cap. It goes very well with my casual clothes, looks very nice with one of my suits. I went out the other evening, I was wearing my new cap. Was very proud of the way it looked. I thought it did me quite a favor. Got home and looked at myself in the mirror and thought, I'm growing new hair all over my head. Why do I want to cover it up? Why do I want to wear the cap? So I will rarely wear the cap. If it's raining or something, fine. I'll do it to keep the moisture off my head. But not as a general rule. No, I don't need to wear the hat anymore. I've already got a cover on my head.
Study indicates hair color, nationality, ethnic origin do not seem to be a factor in its effectiveness. Results proven for both women and men.
We have a little time left, so we're going back to Hal Letterman. Hal, thanks for staying with us.
My pleasure.
We've seen people have some amazing results with the Helsinki formula. Results that would have been impossible before this treatment. It's effective, but is it absolutely safe?
It's extremely safe. You know, it isn't a drug. In fact, the central ingredient is an emulsifier, and it's used commonly in milk chocolates, baby lotion, ice cream. So I would say, yes, it's very safe. It's been tested by dermatologists and doctors and found to be extremely safe. Right now, I'd like to show you some interesting results from a national survey on hair loss that reveals how both men and women feel about balding, the emotional as well as social effects. This first question was asked of men who are presently experiencing some degree of hair loss. Are you self-conscious about losing your hair? 70% said yes. Perhaps more importantly, when we asked if other people reacted differently to them, 2 out of 3 said yes, they feel people treated them differently. Has hair loss changed your personality? Yes, 1 out of every 3 men said they were less outgoing. So it apparently inhibits people by weakening their self-esteem. Also polled were men who are not yet experiencing hair loss. How would they react to going bald? Shocked, surprised, and worried was the response of over half the men polled. By far, the most interesting response was to this question. Asked of pre-balding men, do you think you'd lose your sex appeal if you began to experience hair loss? The majority, 60%, said no. Asked of men who are experiencing some hair loss, do you have less sex appeal? An overwhelming 97% said no, they haven't lost any sex appeal. But when we asked the women if balding men are sexier, an incredible 85% said no. Now this really shatters the popular myth that balding means sexy. And in fact, over half would encourage men to seek a treatment, and 95% of the women polled would be willing to pay up to $200 for a hair treatment for the man in their life. And the Helsinki formula is only $39.95 for a 3-month supply.
Okay, let's hear from a few more people.
I feel that the Helsinki formula has improved my overall scalp appearance, health-wise. I'm pleased with the results that I've attained so far, and I'll continue to use it.
His hair has been coming in a lot more, and he used to have a hairline that receded quite far back, and we've watched it come forward.
Well, my hair feels a lot healthier. I have normally quite dry hair, and the product seems to add a little bit more body to it and makes my hair feel healthier. Most exciting experience is watching new hair coming in.
I'm looking forward to a new head of hair. And it just keeps coming in. I'm pretty happy with the Helsinki product. And sure enough, it's worked for me.
That last gentleman we saw really had some startling results. And that's totally the result of using just the Helsinki formula?
Yes, that's right. In fact, it's recommended that all you use is the Helsinki formula because that's all you need for healthy hair. The doctors who tested the formula in Helsinki state that many products on the market today, many commercial products, have injurious materials, injurious ingredients that can be harmful even to healthy hair. And so we recommend nothing but the Helsinki formula.
Hal, you've said this product is not available in stores. Does that mean it's only available directly from you?
Yes, that's right. We've established a direct communication with our customers here in the United States. And you can order it by calling us on our toll-free line or writing directly. And since it comes with a money-back guarantee, it's really worth a try because you've got nothing to lose.
Thank you very much for being with us, Hal. Many people, including myself, have been skeptical of products that claim to end balding and grow new hair. On our program, we've heard from Dr. Shrek Perola, who discovered the formula during a research project at the University of Helsinki Hospital. And we've talked to Hal Lederman, who became such a believer that he manufactures the formula for the United States and Great Britain. But most importantly, we heard from some of the people who have tried the Helsinki formula and experienced some startling personal results. As always, though, discover for yourself. I'm Robert Vaughn. Good day.
The Helsinki formula. It comes complete with the exclusive conditioner, scalp cleanser, and specially formulated shampoo. To order on your Visa or MasterCard, just call toll-free 1-800-843-7400. This safe and effective treatment is only $39.95 plus $3 shipping and handling for a 3-month supply, with an absolute money-back guarantee. To save COD charges, just send $39.95 plus $3 shipping and handling to Pantron 1, P.O. Box 48806, Los Angeles, California 90048. Or call 1-800-843-7400. That's Pantron 1, P.O. Box 48806, Los Angeles, California 90048. Or toll-free 1-800-843-7400.
It's become so obvious that even the teller at the bank that I go to, it's a small branch, there's just about 4 tellers. The teller that I normally go to has noticed it and comments on it. I guess her husband is going bald. And every Friday when I go into the bank to put my pittance in there, this lady is saying, how do I get hold of this product? How do I get hold of the Helsinki formula? I want it. My husband got up this morning and he said, oh God, I'm bald, get me this stuff.